So there we go. So hello, this is Children of the Revolution, and my name is Louise Taylor, and this is
Michael McCartney.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for coming the whole way.
Yes.
It's a lovely mid-Ulster.
Mid-Ulster. Back roads.
Yeah, indeed. So the first question I ask everybody is, do you think we need a revolution?
Yeah, you know, as I was saying, that's one of those questions. I've been watching your YouTube videos, and that question was, do you think we need a revolution? And in my head, revolution kind of means some kind of a fight or a struggle. And I thought to myself, maybe a resolution is what we need.
Right.
Some more clarity.
Mm-hmm.
But if that turns into a revolution within ourselves, then yes, I'm all for the revolution within ourselves.
Oh, right.
But a resolution to what we see and how we see the world.
Uh-huh.
But a revolution within ourselves, because that's where the battle will go on. That's where the battle goes.
Oh my goodness. That's incredible. So just making sure I haven't lost any of it. Right, so a resolution, I think so. And maybe Ashley Mooney, who was another one at the interview, she'd mentioned, because she's big on the words and the impact of words, and that's something that maybe has come across, because the word revolution, maybe historically there's been combat, there's been violence, so it doesn't maybe sit well with a lot of people. But you're saying about a resolution which will result in a revolution in people individually. Can you tell me a bit about that? You know, what that might entail, or what that might look like?
The revolution?
Yes.
Or the resolution?
Within yourself, the revolution within individual people, the revolution of self.
Well, I think the revolution's already going on within people.
Right.
Because the one person we fight most with is ourselves.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Society is just a bigger lens, if you like, of what's already going on within ourselves.
Uh-huh.
Many wars we started with the revolution that's going on within some person that's expanded out, and there's more people gathered in to fight this war.
Yes.
We do the war ourselves, and in ourselves. There is no one who will judge yourself more than yourself.
Yes.
Look in any mirror in your house, and I can guarantee you there'll be something there you don't like. There'll be something there out of place. Like if it's a hair, if your makeup's not done right, or you kind of look a bit flabby in this. You know, my wife's always saying, "They look fat in this," and I'm going, "No, not that one." And then she goes, "Do you're just not being honest." But if you're being honest and saying, "Well, you do look a wee bit, not so thin on that one," they put it politely. But anyway, the point is, when you're looking at the mirror, you're looking at yourself.
Yes.
And your biggest critic is looking back at you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the revolution. That's the revolution that we need to bring some clarity to.
Yeah.
That's the place where we need to bring some peace to.
Yeah.
That's the person that you have to love.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's so much judgment. We don't need to go anywhere but stand in front of a mirror. And you might be the prettiest person in the world. Yeah. And you could be looking in the mirror and going, "I'm really, really pretty." But somewhere in the back of your head is going, "You're not that pretty." you could improve. There's improvement that can be done. Yeah.
Well, you see, I would be very accepting of the way I look. But then sometimes I think, no, I need to sort myself out to look semi-normal when I go out, you know, to be presentable. But I would feel quite accepting of what I see in the mirror. But that has taken a lot of work and a lot of, what can I do about it? And what also possibly, what can I do about this? What do I want, or when do I want to do something about it? So for years I thought, "Oh, you're rubbish at makeup." And I was rubbish at doing makeup. Now I don't even try and do the makeup. I've let go of the makeup stuff. So I think that's about acceptance, isn't it?
Well, it's about the fact that we have a conversation with ourselves, first of all. We do argue with ourselves, and then we do peacify ourselves and say, you can have a wee bit of chocolate after you do this, or you can have a cup of tea after you've run 4 miles, or you won't be able to wear those trousers unless you lost 14 pounds, but that's our goal. But we have these conversations in our heads. We have these conversations with ourselves. We don't, as I say, we don't need to go any further than the mirror in the bathroom or the bottom of the hall. And we will have all these conversations. Now, we were lucky, so we've had Freud
Yes.
who has highlighted, oh yes, you do have all of these voices. You've got the ego, you've got the id,
Yes.
and you've got the super ego.
Yes.
You know, you've got the parent on there, you have the child on there, and then you've got the adult on there.
Yes.
So we have all these things talking to us. And when I'm going around town and I see some guys kind of shaking his fist at the air, and he's usually got a bottle of beer in another hand, doing all this stuff. It's like, you know what? We might look at that person and go, that man's lost it. But the reality is that we all do it to some extent, but we hide it better.
Yes.
You know, I have conversation with myself all the time, like,
yes.
What the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
You know, who am I to be standing? Who am I to be talking about this kind of stuff? Who am I to talk about spirituality? You know, who am I to do anything? Really, I need my certificates on the wall. So we put certificates on the wall to say, you know, I've trained myself. I have went and I have studied.
I've spent a lot of money.
I've spent a lot of money getting here. So yes, I have the right to speak my truth.
Yes.
Because that gives me the right to speak my truth.
But do you know what I say to every client who comes into this room?
Yeah.
None of this matters as much as me actually caring.
Yeah.
No qualification will ever mean as much as me genuinely caring about you.
Yeah, but isn't it really strange that we need a certificate or a qualification to be able to say that to people?
Yes, it's really odd.
And we really want people to... Nope. We want people to go, it's okay to be you and you don't need that.
Yes.
I got that to tell you that it's okay for you not to get that so you can be yourself.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
So like we were talking about earlier.
I got all these qualifications so you don't have to.
So you don't have to, right. That is it. That's it. Sigmund Freud spent years studying human behaviour so that we didn't have to. He could just tell us this is the way it is.
Yeah.
Buddha sat for 7 years under a tree for enlightenment so that we didn't have to.
Yes.
That he could say, this is how it is. Carl Rogers spent years developing a theory so that we didn't have to. He said, this is how it is. You know, treat people this way and they'll open up to you.
Yes.
You know, empathy, congruence, non-judgmental. These are all things that people warm to.
Yes.
You know, not violence, not threats or punishment. We've all these people who have studied, put their life into it, so that we knew, you know, this is the way it is. But they're theories.
Yes.
They are theories, but theories that have substance behind them. Well, we all talk to ourselves, we know that. We all have the critical parent. We all have the part of us that's soothing and comforting. We all have the child in us that wants things, and you know, get the wee voice in your head going, but you know, you can't afford it, and you really. But look, if you work really hard, and you're really, really good for next week, maybe we can think about it.
Yes.
So we have that on ourselves. So we don't need to go anywhere really to say it's okay to be you. It's okay to express yourself. In reality, it's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay to be you. It's not okay to express your ideas and your thoughts. Well, that's what we believe anyway.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah.
It is okay.
Yeah.
And yes, we can read books, and there's loads of books there. First one, I'm dyslexic and I look at them books and I go, shit.
Sorry about that.
I go, oh no, not for me, thank you. I'd rather someone read the book and then told me about it.
Yeah.
I have an uncle who's great, loves reading, and I would go around to his house and I'll say to him, well, what have you been reading? Oh, I've been reading this book, and he'd tell me all about this book, and I say, yeah, do you think the world's getting any heavier with all these people building houses on it? Well, I suppose it's one of those questions. Is the world getting heavier with people building houses on it?
My head's getting heavier thinking about this question. Do you know, I'm like, how is it?
Well, you know, it's not because all the material that has been already here, so it's not adding anything to it.
No,
it's just it's reshaping it and reforming it, right?
Yeah, but it's still, there's so many ways you can see the layers of that question.
We better stop building houses or we're going to sink. but like ourselves, like, so we have to kind of reshape and reform our thinking as well. You have to do it. You can't mind who said it. You can't create something different from the same place.
Yes.
Yeah, you have. That's why we have therapy. And you reform ideas, reform thinking. It's not that anyone's better than the other, but it's just a different thought.
Yes.
And that's why I love philosophy.
Yeah.
Because from philosophy, there's always a question.
Yes.
There's never an answer. Like philosophy goes on forever. There's never a but. There's always a but if you looked at it this way,
yes.
What about this?
Yes.
So there's never one right answer. There's just one answer, but we kind of carry around for a while like a child.
Yes.
And we nurture it because it feels good. But it comes to a point where it doesn't feel any good anymore, so we have to kind of throw it away. But we're reluctant to throw it away because it's been so good to us for such a long time.
Yes.
And we find it hard to let it down because maybe the next one will be a crier, or colicky. It might not be as good as this one. I'm comfortable with this one, so I will hold on to this one.
Is this like beliefs? Are these baby beliefs?
Yeah, baby beliefs and baby attitudes and ways of thinking. Yeah, we hold on to what's comfortable because it's safe.
Yes.
It's safe. It's safe to hold on. Even if it's painful, it's safe. Even if it's painful, we know it. We're comfortable with it. We're even comfortable with the pain.
Yeah.
And even if we've seen somebody else in the same kind of pain, we would be more likely to say to them, chuck that one away and get a different one. See how it works.
Yeah.
Well, I think what we need to be doing, or what I hope is that we need to be becoming more of a role model, if you like. That's what I like to do in my work, become a role model. Because I learn so much from my clients.
Yes.
Every client comes through my door, I learn so much from them. And I'm sitting there in awe of them sometimes going, Christ, I'm sitting here, I feel like a bloody fraud here. I need to be paying these people for coming in. But they learn so much from them. And I learn so much about emotions and feelings. And the one thing that I learned from them is that we are all suffering. We all suffer. And we're continue to suffer. And that's really a shame whenever it comes down to and boils down to like a 10x4 room with 2 chairs on it, that there's some kind of authenticness, even though it is kind of doesn't feel, sometimes it just doesn't feel real, but it's there. It doesn't reflect society in many ways, but it's a place where you can be authentic. And you can have someone listen to you and not judge you. But like I said, and I've been there, but I've got up that chair, and the biggest judge that I come in with is the biggest judge that I leave with is myself.
Yes.
What did I say? How did I say it? I wonder what they thought of me. I wonder what they thought about what I said.
Yes.
Even though they were kind of smiling and nodding their head, you can't help but wonder, what are they thinking? What do they think of me, or what do they really think of who I am? What do they really think of what I'm saying? And sometimes we will come up with that answer ourselves.
Yes.
Well, you just raise your eyebrows. God, that might have meant I said something wrong, or do you really believe that?
Yes.
So our facial expressions, our words, our movements, our gestures, all are speaking something to someone.
Yeah.
And to the vulnerable people, all of those are about being safe, staying safe.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that safe place is one of those places where we get trapped in. And it takes courage. It takes courage, and it takes vulnerability to step outside of that. And I guess that's what I always hope that I'm creating in my therapy rooms, as that place where you can risk.
Yes.
A new idea, a new thought, or a new dream. And I get to experience that maybe for the first time with somebody else. They get to experience it with somebody else for the first time. And being genuine with someone, being yourself and going, God, I really don't understand that. Or, there's no point in nodding your head and having all this inner dialogue going on. That's going, Jesus, that doesn't sound healthy at all.
Yeah.
It's about being genuine. It's about both people being genuine.
Yes.
It's about saying, it sounds really good, but to me it sounds really unhealthy. That really sounds unhealthy.
Yeah.
Can we look at more of that, or can we explore that a wee bit more?
Yes.
We're not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying, for me to be genuine, for me it feels unhealthy.
Well, yeah, because if it's problematic for the client, or say it's one of the things, I suppose, with a lot of things that are coming up in the room, there's a dissonance, there's a discomfort with it. So when you say unhealthy, like, that's interesting, and that's congruence, that is genuine. And for me as a client, I would value that. I would value that authenticity in a therapist. But I suppose one of the things with me, with clients bringing up things, I'm often like, how does that feel? How did it feel when you felt like that? Because it's so often the emotions. So the beliefs are connected to the emotions, but it's the emotions that people are neglecting. I think often the emotional responses are, I think, some of our biggest teachers about ourselves.
Well, here's the thing about emotions. Here's the thing about us. Emotions are connected to our thoughts. Our thoughts are connected to our emotions and feelings. And then we have all these labels like depression, anxiety, frightened, and some of them labels are great. But I think once we start labeling emotions and feelings, we've kind of got two emotions as far as I'm concerned, one good and one not so good. One that lifts us up and one that brings us down. One that doesn't feel good.
Yes.
Okay. And usually the one that doesn't feel good is packed with dread and fears and all that kind of shaky stuff. And the one that feels good is kind of going up here, and it's like we feel, we could just kind of joy. We could fly. We could, just feel light.
Yes.
I'm feeling good spirits, as they say.
Yes.
And one's I'm feeling bad spirits.
Yeah.
So, and once you start labeling them, you're working with the mind. You're working with emotions, and the mind and emotions are very much connected together. So we have similar emotions, like if you like roller coasters, you get that buzz, that kind of, people are junkie adrenaline's, like, it's wow, but it's the same kind of feeling as dread and fear as well.
Yes.
So there we have an emotion that's similar, but one is kind of intoxicated and adrenaline and going for it, and the other one is packed with fear.
Yes.
So we have labels rather than feelings, and if we just kind of looked at them as sensations, and we don't. I mean, we talked earlier on, but feeling hard in heart and whatever, and right away your mind goes straight onto what this is, resolving it. It's because of this and because of that, and that's why I feel that.
Yeah.
Whereas in reality, we're having sensations in our bodies. Nervousness. How do you experience this? What you're saying? How do you experience it? So we experience it in sensations, right? Tingling or tightness. I feel tight. I feel tingly. And if we don't label, and we allow that energy to kind of move through the body, it makes it a lot easier, because once we put a label on it, we stop looking at it. Once we see a horse, we go, it's a horse, that's it. It's a tree. Or
it's a tree.
It's a tree. I need to hug.
Yes.
It's a horse. But we do say with people, it's Louise, that's Michael, or it's Johnny or Andy or whatever it is. We kind of just kind of look at that's just them. But we don't actually kind of look. We don't see people.
The whole.
We don't see the experiences. We don't see ourselves as an experience, because we are experiencing this world.
Oh yeah.
Big time, and there's no getting away from it.
No.
No matter where, the only places you can get away from it is the forest. Or lock yourself in the room.
That's still experience in the world.
Well, you're experiencing a different part of the world.
Oh yeah. You're
not experiencing that kind of forceful flow of energy.
No.
I never told you my story of how this all started for me, right? So I know it sounds a wee bit weird, but my training started when I was like 23, 24, had this experience. I called it a spiritual experience because there was no explanation for it, so I just called it a spiritual experience.
Oh, wow.
And from that moment, it was almost like training time for Michael. And I was like everybody else. My focus was out in the world. You know, people needed to change, people needed to stop doing this, people needed to stop doing that. This experience that I had kind of very, very quickly kind of whooped it around back in my face and goes, no, Michael, it is you that needs to change.
Yeah.
It is you needs to see the world in a different light. And I'm crap, you know, why me kind of thing. But and the answer to that was, why not? Why not you? Why somebody else? Why somebody else have the experience of doing the turnaround?
The revolution.
The revolution comes, and the clarity comes from within here. But we have to look at it, you know.
Yeah.
I lost my train. Well, it was part of my...
You're saying about your training and how it started.
Part of my training with that was going into a supermarket and standing in the supermarket and just watching people come by.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the different energies that were coming through, you know, sadness, anger, happiness.
Oh,
It
wow.
was all just kind of flowing towards me with people just walking past. And I was going, wow. So that was, part of that was go outside, see how you feel. So for you, like, go to the forest, see how you feel. It's relaxing. But go in here, see what you pick up.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the different energies that were coming through. It was like every day we're around people, buses and taxis and shops, and we're picking all this stuff up. Sometimes we go home and we feel frustrated and angry, we don't know really why.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go home and just feel
yeah.
we don't know really why, because we're picking all of this stuff up. We're a part of it. We're a whole part of this whole mechanism. You know, wherever we are, we're supposed to be where we are because we're a part of that.
Yes.
And we're a part of something else. The changes that we make, we never know.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be a part of the changes, but wherever we are, whatever we're doing, has having an effect. It's what needs to be done. It's what needs to be said. You know, it's all having an effect. And at the same time, we're still growing. And we only grow if we look at and get some resolution with that person in the mirror.
Yes.
Because that is our biggest critic. That's the one we come back to all the time. No matter how much time you spend out in public, you come back to spend time with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And quieting that kind of, you know, that critical mind, a critical self. It takes a bit of work, you know. It takes a wee bit of practice and work, you know. And we don't do it, and we don't do it enough because we're so used to just letting this thing run riot. You know?
Yes.
But before we started thinking, you know, I'm not a psychologist, but I know there's a progress in of learning, a progress of motor skills, and then you start learning to talk. Your first word, there's the first word coming out, and then you start thinking, and then you start experiencing. But before all of that, now this is the spiritual side for me. Before all of that, there was a huge intelligence within us, right?
Yes.
An intelligent enough to grow limbs, to grow hearts and lungs and veins, and you know, your nails and your hands and your eyes and your ears, and it knew exactly where they all needed to go, and it knows exactly what they're all needed for.
Yes.
So there's this huge intelligence within us. If you look at your hand and you ask yourself, did you grow that hand? You know, well, who grew the hand? Where did it come from? And then we start developing this cognitive mind that's so kind of sometimes separated from this and all of this.
Yeah.
And we forget about it. And then this kind of feels emotions, feels sensations in it.
Yes.
This then determines what it is that you're feeling, depending on your background.
Yeah.
So one feeling could mean something totally different to somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So we determine what that sensation is. So if we look at them as sensations rather than trying to so quickly label them, you know, it just could be a sense of, God, when you said that, I kind of threw my breath and kind of pulled myself back here. It was like, oh.
Yes. Yeah.
So that we could look at that as fear.
Yes.
or protection or whatever it might be, but that's my response to that environment is
Yes.
that. So do I trust this or do I trust that?
That.
Yeah, so if I trust this, and that's being authentic, isn't it? It's being authentic to ourselves. I'm trusting this. It might not be right, you know,
Yes.
it could be, but you know what? I'm being authentic to me. I'm going to do what I feel is right for me, and that's what's important. Until I can see something different
Yes.
or look at it differently,
Yes.
then that next time I'm in that situation, I might not do this. I might stay here for a little bit longer,
Yes.
and then maybe do it later on.
Yeah.
So it's been constant learning, okay? But we're fascinated people. We are fascinating beings.
Yes.
We have so much potential in terms of imagination, creativity,
Yes.
you know, the things that we can do.
Yeah.
And what stops us is this little thing up here in our head called a brain that we're supposed to use. It's supposed to be of service to us rather than us being of service to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't look at it that way. It's like we are our brain.
Yeah.
We are our thoughts.
Yeah.
We are our emotions. We are our experiences, and we're not. You
No.
know, we're not. This is designed to gather information for us, you know. But then again, we don't have to figure it out. People have spent their lifetime, like Freud has spent his life looking at all this, looking at all the aspects of our brain. You know, science has looked at the brain, the different sections of our brain, which bit does what, which bit does this, which bit does the emotions, which bit does the feeling and the touching and the smelling.
Yeah.
And then it has to make sense of it all.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of information we take in every single day,
Yeah.
and most of it is just discarded because in here somewhere says, well, that's not important. This is dependent on our belief systems. It's a complex thing,
Yes.
but it's something I believe is worth getting to know.
Yeah.
And it starts with the mirror.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when we get the mirror, you know, weans when they're really, really young, they don't recognise that it's them in the mirror. They think it's another baby.
Oh yeah.
And they're all, you know, and they do cuckoos and stuff like that, and they have really good fun with it.
Yeah.
Because they don't see it as them up at that point. It's a different person. They see somebody else. But as we grow, then we become more self-aware, and then we realise then we're separate from other people, and we try to pull away, and we want to be ourselves, and we want to know who we are, and all that stuff. And then you've all the messy stuff in, like, you know, other people's experiences, and you know what you should be, how you shouldn't be, and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the whole look, I'm just aware of time. Oh, it's nearly 30 minutes. I can't believe that. But it's just like holding the mirror up, like, and I would say the same. That was therapy for me and going to counselling. And so whenever you start holding the mirror, it is terrifying, I think, but it's also incredible. You know, it's incredible when you start actually understanding that the self-awareness journey, that everything around you is a reflection of what's going on inside you, and all your relationships and everything are impacted by how you present in the world, and taking responsibility for that is I think it's very liberating, but it's very empowering. And I think that's like, I think in the job that we do, and this revolution within individuals, I would say don't be too scared of it. Embrace it. What do you think?
Well, embrace the fear.
Yeah.
You know, there's a part of me just wants to go like, well, what was that experience like? You know, when you looked in the mirror and you said it was terrifying. What was terrifying about it?
Do you know what was whenever I say I look in the mirror, for a long time I was like, it's everybody else. And that's one thing I think that's a lot of people are not willing to look in the mirror because they want, it's more comfortable to say it's their fault, it's their fault, it's their fault, it's their fault. Whereas actually when you're like, no, I have to be responsible. This is how So when I started to look at myself, it was quite terrifying because I was like, oh no, I'm the one, it's all me. But actually it was brilliant. So it's like I suppose it's like a leap of faith or any massive change. It can be scary. But like I wrote a blog about it recently. The only way to embrace change is to join the dance, is to plunge into it. And what you just said, embrace the fear. Like, yes, it was terrifying, but it was brilliant.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like face the fear and do it anyway. Fear, on the other side of fear is possibly freedom, you know?
And you know, the other thing too about that whole thing of looking in the mirror is that you're not actually seeing you in the mirror. You're seeing a reflection of what you think is you in the mirror.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yes.
Also, you know, you're going, it's their fault, and their fault, and their fault, and their fault, and your fault as well. It's your fault as well. So that's a part of that whole you bit as well. Yeah. It's like, you don't even know who you are.
No.
You haven't begun to reach the love that's on there.
Yes.
You haven't begun to reach the acceptance that's on there.
Oh.
And this reflection back and, you know, that reflecting back and forward. What's that person in the mirror think of this person here? You're probably an arsehole.
Yeah.
You're such a dick. you just let all that happen and you never once opened your mouth.
Yeah.
You never once said, you know, leave him alone.
Yeah.
You know, don't be so cruel to him.
Yes.
Don't be putting your crap onto him.
Mm-hmm.
You never opened your mouth.
Yeah.
You never once protected me.
Oh.
Huh?
I'd say I'm just aware of it, but I have absolutely loved this conversation, and I just think that like so you're a counsellor and you're working from Derry, yeah. And I just think that discussions like this and sharing information like this, like a lot of people could think this is absolute bollocks, or they could absolutely love it. That's like by the by. But for me, selfishly, this has been incredible. Thank you so much for your time.
Someone's looking for me.
Yeah. But is there anything you would like to end with, or anything you'd like to say?
Yes, I love philosophy. I love hearing I love hearing people's story. I love hearing what they think and what they feel. You know, and even if they think this is a load of nonsense, you know, or maybe they might think, that was really interesting, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I would love to hear about it. I would love people to get in contact with me and love them to tell me their stories and tell me what they think, good or bad. It doesn't really matter, you know. And I would open my page to that. I would open a lifeline, if you like, for people that might want to just have a conversation or a chat, or, you know, there's always one of these things that I always thought about. If someone came and told me about going to commit suicide, and it was their absolute wish to do so, and what would I do? You know, if I couldn't, well, obviously, because we're a therapist, we have an obligation to report it and do that there. But if it was their absolute dying wish to commit suicide, if someone was absolutely terminally ill and you know, didn't have any quality of life and wanted to end their life, I would be happy to sit with that person and be with them while they've done that transition. I think it's really sad that people commit suicide on their own, that there's no hope.
It is awful. Yeah.
And I would just love to have a lifeline that says, I know there's plenty of lifelines out there, I know there's plenty of phone calls and stuff like that. But I think if someone's going to take their lives, then I certainly wouldn't be judging them in any way.
No.
I would hate the fact that they're going to do it.
Yes.
But if there's any hope, especially for young men, if there's any hope out there to have a lifeline, I'm happy to put my page up and say, you know, hey, if this is the last word you're going to have, please have it on my page. Yes. You know.
Yes.
Please have it with me.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's and if you look at the core condition, unconditional positive regard.
Yeah.
That is it to the nth degree. That's it.
It's what we all want. It's what we all look for.
Absolutely.
And it starts with me.
Yeah. I really appreciate your time, and I have absolutely loved this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.